We fight for one another. Private and public sector, employed and unemployed, young and old, healthy and sick. We fight to ensure the most vulnerable in society aren't left on the scrap heap of this government's savage cuts agenda. We educate, agitate, organise from the grassroots up. We stand on the shoulders of giants, the heroes of this great movement of ours, and together, as they have taught us, we will win. Thank you, comrades.
Services are under attack, and politicians need to be told that enough is enough. And unless these policies change, the economy will not grow, incomes will not rise, and there will be almost no new jobs. And if this government keeps on with the spending cuts and the austerity, we face a lost decade. And in 2009, when he said we're all in this together, well, the poor are all in it together, and the rich are holidaying in the sunshine.
Of the lost generation, banging the drum every day on how austerity is failing their future and reshaping the way in which we organise our young people. And people like the striking Remploy workers who are here with us today. They are daring to stand up to a coalition government and its absolutely despicable assault on the jobs and livelihoods of the disabled people across this country.
And at the conference, he praised the Disabled Olympics. And he proudly told us that when looking at disabled people, fewer people now notice the wheelchair. Well, that certainly seems to be the case with ATOS, assessing the work capability. ATOS Healthcare, private sector, for the state to contract work to a private company, to outsource work back to the state. Where the hell is the value for money in that arrangement?
It is easy to see that we are the hardest hit. For disabled people, as well as a crisis in our pockets, losing benefits or jobs, we face a crisis of identity. On one hand, we must prove our worth to employers as employees in an ever-increasingly difficult to penetrate employment market. And on the other, we must prove our worth as a disabled person with support needs just to access the essential support we need to enjoy our basic human rights. Yes, disabled people are an untapped resource for society at large, but pulling the rug from under us in the guise of setting our potential free will not embrace our potential. It will merely stifle it. Without access to support and assistance to participate in society and live an ordinary life, or indeed extraordinary, the potential power of us as equal citizens with equal rights and as assets to our society will remain untapped. We cannot afford to let our long and hard fought for human rights be eroded in the guise of supporting us to fulfil our potential or tackle fraud. When they call us scroungers, we fight back. Today, we challenge those who have stolen our language and used it against us. And today, we send them a clear message. We are united in our belief in us as citizens with equal rights. And we are united when we say stop. We can't and won't stand for this.
I'm an internationalist. I have more in common with the striking workers on the streets of Athens and Madrid than I do with the arrogant millionaires preaching their politics of privilege. Or those who turn around and tell us our strikes are wrong. I'm a socialist. I have more in common with people who fight for the Robin Hood tax in our banks than I do in the condemned government who say sorry for creating an unfair society and then allow fat cats their few bonuses. and I'm an optimist. I truly believe we can create a country of which we can be proud.
Together, we will ensure that people look back at today not as the bad time to be disabled, or even the bad time just to be, but as the time where we stood strong. We stood against those who stole the language and used it as a cover to hit us hardest. And we stood together for change. We will look back at today as the beginning of the good times, the time when we did not let them divide and rule us. Together, we were their target. United, we stood against them, and together, we won a better way. Thank you.